Spoilers for Young and the Restless's October 20 to 24, 2025 season reveal Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, is enraged, and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is resisting. To provide you context for all those spoilers, we begin by discussing what will happen this week, and then move on to discuss what will happen next week, as we always do on early edition days. In an attempt to win back Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, travels to Los Angeles. He shows up at her hotel with flowers, beaming, but she's not glad to see him. Claire is very upset when Kyle admits that Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, instructed him where to look for her. He nevertheless maintains that he is there to keep her safe from Holden Novak, played by Nathan Owens. Claire firmly pushes back. Kyle is back where he was before she informed him she needed time and space. She says she already has arrangements with Holden and declines his invitation to go out that evening. Claire makes it apparent that she has made up her mind as Kyle continues to insist. When Holden arrives, Kyle orders him to stop bothering them. Holden waits downstairs while Claire grudgingly allows Kyle a few minutes. Kyle talks up about his grief, furious that Claire rejected him and ran off with Holden. Claire shrugs, reminding him that he persisted in trying to control her despite her request for breathing room. His actions simply serve to highlight her reasons for leaving. Despite Kyle's insistence that he loves her, Claire claims she needs to discover who she is and cannot do it while he is watching. Victoria informs Nate Hastings, seen Dominic, about Noah Newman's, Lucas Adams, vehicle accident back in Genoa City. In remembrance of his deceased sibling, Nate intends to make a sizable donation to University Hospital. Victoria also feels bad about disclosing Claire's address. Nick is informed by Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, that their son Noah sustained severe injuries, including damage to his face and skull, back in Los Angeles. Noah survives the procedure, but his parents are devastated. Sharon is worried that another of her children has been wounded, after Cassie and Faith's mishaps. They find it incomprehensible that Noah was out in Malibu at such a late hour. Nick remembers that the last time they spoke, Noah appeared anxious. His face is entirely covered in bandages when they eventually catch a glimpse of him. Detective Burrow, played by Matt Cohen, who is looking into Noah's crash, is a mysterious figure that Sharon and Nick meet on Thursday, October 16, at the mental health facility where Maria Copeland, Cameron Grimes, is receiving treatment on Young and the Restless. She is taken aback by Tessa Porter's, Kate Fairbanks', unexpected visit. Melody Thomas Scott's character Nikki Newman takes matters into her own hands and confronts Billy Flynn's character Kane Ashby about his risky AI project. Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, encounters a distressing reminder of her history on Friday, October 17. Holden, Amy Lewis, Valerie Pettiford, or even Nate might be involved. At the same time, Nick continues investigating for the truth behind Noah's crash, while Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, seeks to patch relations with Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. During the week of October 20 to 24, Kyle gets home from Los Angeles and snaps at Audra, accusing her of being responsible for everything, including Claire leaving with Holden. Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Victor Newman, Eric Braden, think they have Kane trapped, but if provoked, his partnership with Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, might turn deadly. As Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, leaves Genoa City for medical care in London, Billy suffers. Her persistent preference for Kane and her control over Abbott.com's funds irritate him. Additionally, friction will arise between Holden and Sienna Beckel, Tamara Braun, as previous secrets could come to light. Nick is still committed to finding out who targeted Noah, and he is working with Detective Burrow to get the truth. Despite her lack of cruelty, Claire firmly refuses Kyle's entreaties. He stays in LA in the hopes that she would change her mind, but Claire might have to urge him to get out of town. Kyle's fixation on control may be the final straw for her. She is currently going on, both with and without Holden. Fans of Young and the Restless, brace yourself for an intense emotional storm, intense conflicts, and startling power plays that will rock Genoa City to its foundation during the week of October 20 to 24. Nick Newman's violent rage threatens to upend everything, including love, family, and business, as Sally Spectra battles valiantly to regain her life and dignity. This week's episodes will demonstrate that devotion, heartbreak, and retaliation are a hazardous combination in Genoa City, as old scars reopen and tempers are higher than ever. For far too long, Sally Spectra has been ignored, denigrated, and shoved. This is over. Sally is finally retaliating after months of trying to be fair, while everyone else acted immorally. Sally returns to Newman Media at the start of the week, where she encounters yet another instance of corporate treachery. Never one to pass up a chance to cause trouble, Audra Charles puts up a trap that makes Sally appear inept at a pivotal presentation. Audra is unaware that Sally has been ahead of the game this time. Did you honestly believe I wouldn't anticipate this? In Monday's dramatic incident, Sally loses it and slams a folder down in front of Audra. After that, Sally presents proof that Audra altered her design files, a revelation that shakes the boardroom. In a rare moment of moral clarity, Nate Hastings, who has been surreptitiously monitoring Audra's schemes, takes Sally's side. It's a bittersweet triumph though, because even if Sally prevails, she is aware that the conflict is still ongoing because the Newman family is still split on her. Nick Newman has a reputation for being protective, but this week he loses all control of his wrath. After realizing that Adam Newman has again deceived Sally in a previous confrontation, Nick absolutely loses his composure. Nick storms inside Crimson Lights and grabs Adam by the collar, causing his attempt to make peace to backfire spectacularly. Avoid her at all costs. Nick snarls, his voice trembling with controlled rage. You've done enough damage to everyone in this family. You don't get to hurt her again. Sharon intervenes quickly to diffuse the tension and warn Nick that using violence will not resolve the issue. However, it's obvious that his feelings are out of control. Nick is on the verge of a complete breakdown due to his ongoing conflict with his brother, his father's pressure, and the anguish of seeing Sally suffer. Later in the week, Nikki confronts her son and warns him that all he has worked so hard to achieve could be destroyed by his rage. She begs, "Don't let your father's mistakes become yours." But Nick, still seething, refuses to back down. He believes that someone has to protect her, because no one else will. Adam is fighting his own problems while Nick is furious. His acts contradict his attempts to persuade himself and everyone else that he has changed. Adam will be by himself in his Newman Enterprises office this week, gazing at an old picture of Sally on his phone. "I never stopped loving you," he murmurs, not realizing Victoria is watching from the doorway. "You can't fix what you broke by hovering over it," says Victoria, who has had enough of Adam's mayhem. "We both know which option you'll pick. Either you let her go or you bring her down once more." After Sally confronts Adam in the middle of the week, his guilt grows. Their scene is full of emotion, including sadness, longing, and rage. "You don't get to act like the victim," Sally said. "You made choices, Adam, choices that cost me everything." "Adam, you believe I'm unaware of that. You don't think I don't deal with that every day." Sally leaves after their dispute, leaving Adam even more devastated. Behind that suffering, though, there is a glimmer of something perilous, a reminder that Adam never really gives up on his goals. By Wednesday, Sally and Audra's conflict had reached a breaking point. Audra retaliates by telling the media about Sally's prior failures, including her time in Los Angeles. After Sally reveals Audra's sabotage, Sally's will to fight is rekindled by the public humiliation, and she makes the decision to remove the gloves entirely. She enlists the services of Chloe Mitchell, her longtime ally, to leak proof of Audra's corporate malfeasance to a competing source. When Audra learns about it, she enters Sally's office with a thunderclap of heels. War was just declared, Audra growls. Sally smiles. "Then you should bring more than just cheap tricks." Fans celebrate during the confrontation since this isn't the old, desperate Sally Spectra. This woman has mastered the game and is the best at it. Fans will be left reeling after Nick and Sally's showdown on Thursday, which is one of the week's most powerful and emotional scenes. Sally confronts Nick about his actions after his violent altercation with Adam becomes widely known, due to a bystander's phone video. She is angry that he is endangering himself, but she is also touched because he stood up for her. She sobs, "Nick, I don't need a hero. When I'm hurt, I need someone who doesn't lose himself. Adrenaline still trembling, Nick retaliates. You think I can just sit back and watch you suffer? I love you, Sally. However, I always wind up being the villain when I try to do the right thing. There is a tragic and electric tension between them. For a brief instant, it appears as though they may finally overcome the enormous emotional gap between them. Instead, Sally says in a low voice, "Perhaps love isn't enough anymore," and then she leaves. Nick's subsequent silence speaks for itself. He's coming to the realization that the one person he really cares about could be lost because of his rage. While his sons are at war, Victor Newman observes it all from the shadows, calculating, monitoring, and discreetly manipulating events to his benefit. It's time to remind my children who really runs this family, Victor says in a shocking clip that will appear on Friday after meeting with Nate. Though not yet completely disclosed, Victor's plan seems to entail reorganizing roles at Newman Enterprises, potentially requiring Adam and Nick to collaborate under Victoria's direction. However, there is always a secret agenda behind Victor's actions. Is he attempting to reestablish order, or is he preparing his sons for yet another fabled Newman feud? Sharon continues to be the calm voice of reason while the Newmans are engulfed in pandemonium. She had sincere conversations with Nick and Sally this week, advising them to get well before they ruin one another. You can't keep fighting everyone else's battles, she adds quietly to Nick. Letting go is sometimes the most courageous thing you can do. You've been surviving for so long that you forgot how to live, Sally said. Don't let their battle pull you back into the darkness. Her remarks stick with Nick and Sally, and by the end of the week, they are both considering their own desires rather than the things they have been battling for. Long before anybody else does, Nikki Newman perceives disaster in the making. She is aware that the family is on the verge of another explosion because she has seen the warning signs. Victor's cunning, Nick's instability, and Adam's fixation. She had a furious argument with Victor at the Newman ranch. Stop what you're planning, she adds sternly. You cannot continue to use your kids as pawns. Victor responds in a condescending and icy manner. My dear, you're not understanding. Reminding them who is in control is sometimes the only way to salvage this family. Knowing that someone always suffers when Victor takes over, Nikki leaves with a terrified expression on her face. The Young and the Restless closes Friday's episode with a shocking twist, just when viewers believed the week couldn't get any more stressful. Late at night, Sally gets an enigmatic email, an anonymous tip, disclosing that Tucker McCall has been receiving information from someone she trusted at Newman Media. The email finishes with one line, when Sally scrolls down and sees a name she recognizes. One that will alter everything, her eyes enlarge. Fans are shouting at their TVs when the screen goes black. Despite everything, Genoa City is on the precipice of a storm that will try allegiances, shatter hearts, and demonstrate that nobody in this community is ever really innocent. The week of October 20 to 24 on The Young and the Restless promises to be a roller coaster of emotion, betrayal, and resilience. Nick Newman's spiral into barely controlled wrath will serve as a reminder to viewers of why the Newmans are one of the most complex families in the daytime, while Sally Spectra's journey from injured survivor to furious warrior is nothing short of captivating.